welcome to Konnect Up, where we're filming live in Metro Atlanta. I'm Gabrielle.
And I'm Sheila.
And I'm Latrice.
And I'm LaFay. Welcome to Konnect Up.
Yes, so take a seat. We're glad you're here to join us. And today we'll be talking about overcoming competitiveness with women, who you are versus what you do, and authentic support. That's today. So ladies, let's get into it. Y'all ready?
Let's get into it.
Let's do it. This is nothing new to us. We talked about this before. We've not only talked about it, we've actually experienced it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so a lot of what we'll be sharing today will come from our experiences as well. So I've also asked the question, and I'll ask it again: where does this come from? And is it a cultural thing, or is it just a thing amongst women? Period. What do you guys think?
Well, you know my take. It's a thing, and it's a thing that has been embedded in us.
Right.
It's a thing that stems from so many other things, and it seems to be almost like a cancer thing. But I know, LaFay, you say it's a
cultural thing.
It's a cultural thing.
I think personally that it's both.
Okay.
You know, and so I think it's a cultural thing, and I think it stems from so many things. When we look at wages, women, we're out there battling to get the best wage.
Right.
So when you look at it from that standpoint, that could be a thing.
A thing. There it is.
But then when you look back from the slavery point of how, like I say, colorism,
Right.
light skin stayed in the house versus the dark skin that went in the field, then it's a culture.
Yeah.
So I think both.
As well.
Yeah.
So if it is a cultural thing, and of course we know all of our sisters are in this. We do it to each other.
Yes.
And I think it's hard, but we need to get a grip on it, and we need to talk about it and be honest about it.
Yes.
This is a thing.
This is a thing, and why is it a thing?
And why is it a thing? Why? Where does it come from? Why is it? So my other thing was to you guys is this, you know, we're all ministers and we're not going to turn that into church, but we have to address the fact of jealousy and envy that runs rampant among, and we don't want to talk about that, and we don't want to admit that that's a problem. But is that the cause, or does that contribute to the competitive nature that we find? Or being competitive, does that make us become jealous and envious?
Sometimes it does. Again, but I also said earlier when we were talking that the jealousy and the envy also sometimes comes from insecurity.
Yes.
I think
Sheila said, knowing who we are.
Sheila said
not knowing who we are, because if you don't know who you are,
then
you just gonna flip to anything and anybody and whatever. But if you don't know who you are, there's no stability.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you don't want to acknowledge that you have a problem.
Right.
Because no, it's not me. We try to blame, we want to blame everybody else. It's the other sister.
Yeah.
It's not me.
And sometimes, sis, it's me. Sometimes, sis, it's me.
And you have to be able to assess that. And that's what we don't do well, because we don't like honesty about ourselves. But sometimes you got to self-check you.
Yeah.
And that's when it becomes a cancer, because then it spreads.
Exactly.
It spreads.
And I remember, and this is coming to me, I remember when we do woman to woman, the other ministry where all of us was involved. And I remember when Latrice went out to do, she took a subject, no more drama. And so it turned into her thing. So, but I felt some kind of way because we didn't actually have to come. But by the time she started, I was like, she could have at least told me that she was doing it. But dang, she didn't invite me to do nothing, and she came out our thing doing it. So for a few years, we didn't talk about how I felt about that. I just kind of sat back in the cup. Not that we stopped talking.
Yeah, we didn't stop talking.
But one day, I go to her house, and we had to sit down
and we
have
had
a
to talk
real
about
conversation. To say, look, this is how we end this. We have to talk about how we really felt when it occurred.
Yes.
What could we have done differently? So sometimes we're offended and we're hurt, but because we don't go back and have that conversation.
Yes.
I am so big on that, because one of the things that I always say is, when you start feeling a certain type of way or somebody do something to you, you have to go back and lance that wound and get all of that stuff out. If you guys hadn't done that, we wouldn't be sitting here today.
And I'm glad you brought it up, because in the conversation, it wasn't yelling, it wasn't fighting, it wasn't finger pointing. And then after the conversation, It just was what it was. It wasn't something that was continuously browbeaten and we gotta go back to it because we talked it out. And
all of that out.
Yeah, and got it all out like you said.
That was important. And the thing, because it would turn into, was she competing against us as woman, because now she got no more drama and that was a part of our thing and da. And so you could start to feel that it was. Now, with that being said, who knows? I could pull the fame with me. Now we both mad at Teresa because she done came in and got.
And she done started her own conference.
You know what I'm saying? So learning that it can lead to all this other stuff, and then as we said earlier, continue. So I think just saying that if that is an issue, one way to handle that is to be honest and have that conversation. This is how I feel.
Yeah, but you first have to be honest with yourself.
You gotta be
because most of the time we're not honest with the other people, with our sisters, because guess what? We're not even honest enough to say within ourselves, you know what, that thing hurt me, that thing bothered me, that thing made me feel some type of way. You know, and so then we can't be honest with them because we can't even say in our own mirror to our own self, you know what, sis? That thing bothered me.
That thing bothered me.
But what about when that person don't want to hit it? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
and you gonna run on.
You need to be okay with walking away.
Walking away that you did the right thing.
What you need to do.
Did the right thing.
And that you walked away with you, because now I can go back even with me and Faye and the battles that we had, baby, and everything, and how we came back around. When she called and we hit up some kind of way and was like, let's have dinner, let's have lunch, and we're able to share how we still had influenced each other's lives, although we walked away in a hurt state, but we came back to say,
but the bonds have been strengthened.
Yes.
Now that's the one thing that is so missing amongst sisters is that some of us will have the conversation, and you know what, we'll walk away and say, well, you know, it is what it is. Because I know I'm good for it. If it is what it is, it is what it is. But I have watched amongst us, the bonds have been strengthened.
Yes.
Even when people try to pit us against one another.
We've all experienced that.
You know, so you never know the individual struggles that the sisters are going on. And then the other things that they're continuing within themselves, and that brings us to that envy, jealous, all that stuff.
Yes, and I think that's what makes you guys so awesome to be a part of what we're doing now, is because we've been through those different phases. But it could have felt like being competitive. We were young. And you know, and everything, and then be able to come back and say, hey, we grew up, like this is a part of this, and now we can help somebody else. And again, to deal with that competitive spirit and the things that we face, we have to be able to assess ourselves.
And you know what else I think that helps is us having a good foundation.
Yes.
Because if you don't have a good foundation, oh my God, you know, even though stuff happens, but if your foundation is good and solid,
Y'all know how we call everybody friend. And we call everybody sis.
And everybody's not
the foundation is not built, it's not strong, and as soon as one infraction happens, you gone. You know what I'm saying? And so you can't even come back from that because there was nothing there to hold it up like
in the first place.
That's one thing that my husband has taught me that I'm grateful for him. Stop calling everybody your friend.
Right.
He said, you have associates, you have acquaintances. He said, but everybody's not your friend. And you know, like Latrice was saying, I was so used to saying, oh, that's my friend. But I am very much now more aware of who my friends are.
And we friends.
We're friends. Oh,
and my friends are mostly like family.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? If I call you friend, it's really because you are probably more like family. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's been important. So I think that's the thing that we can take from that, is that we have to go back and assess ourselves and then address the issue within ourselves first. And if we real sisters, I can come address it with you. And we can get past it and move on. And understand that we're not competing with each other, and stop this cycle of hurting one another. Because that's all we're doing.
That's all we're doing.
That's all we're doing, pushing us further back, more hurt. And if we can address it within ourselves, I can come to you and say, hey, you don't take it no kind of way, because you get to know, we know each other.
And if I hear something about you, then if I know you, I
can say, yes.
And I'm going to shut it down.
Yes.
You know, because that's what sisters do. I'm gonna shut it down. But Tammy, you said something that sparked a thought to me. We should be able to come to one another when we have an alt with one another. We have an issue, or we feel some type of way. However, we also should be able to build a foundation and a sisterhood where we can come and say, I have an insecurity.
Yeah.
I need to talk to my sister because I need you to help me to see something that I don't see. Tell me, I don't see where it's coming from. Sis, I'm insecure about this. I'm feeling some type of way. But you know what? As women, we can't go to one another because you know what? I don't want her talking to me. I don't want her talking about me. Yeah. She can't tell me nothing. Yeah. We gotta stop.
But baby,
your experiences.
When you expose that stuff that's going on in you, that expose you, that's half the battle right there. That is
You can't take the mask off.
And you know what's so funny is that if one sister opens up and says, you know what, I'm insecure about, I don't like my midsection, I don't like my this. Guess what? More sisters will feel more comfortable about saying, you know what, I'm dealing with that too, but I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to be embarrassed. I didn't want to be ashamed. All of that breeds from that place of not being able to share, not being able to talk.
So what we're gonna do is expose this thing. So we can move on, you know, and be okay with it. And that's just where we are. I love that. I love the fact that we can do that, because you can't do that. You can't be exposed to everybody.
Come on.
I would encourage everybody that can find their set of people. And it took me, I'm not gonna tell my age, it took a long time
to find my
set. Now I'm just gonna be honest, it took a long time. I learned how to, I call it my circle, the inner circle, this circle, where everybody goes. I started learning to do that, but it still took a long time to find the set of people that I felt like, okay, this is my set right here.
It takes time, it takes lessons, it takes experience. Sometimes you get wounded.
Maturity.
And you mature through all of those things in order to find those people and then be able to acknowledge that, you know what, these are my people, and be okay with it. Because y'all know what, we want a certain set of people. We want to be in a certain group, and we want to do this. Listen, kill the group. Let's just be able to come together, and let's be okay. But you know what, this my sister. This my friend girl who I know over here. You know, I know her, but she's not my sister. She's not my sister. But guess what? I value you for who you are and where you are in my life, just like I value my sister.
And then we can appreciate everybody where they are.
In our lives. And don't expect more.
Say something.
Expect more than what they do.
Come on.
Because if I know this is where you are, then
that's what I know. Exactly.
That's it.
I expect nothing else.
Sometimes you put those.
Then I don't get mad.
No.
When you can't deliver.
Oh, that's good. We're good. From that point, we're good. And learning how to celebrate one another and prop one another up. So with that being said, with all of that and understanding how to overcome competitors, exposing that mess, because you know what you feel. It didn't sneak up on you. You know how you feel. You know what's going on inside of you. Come on, let's get it on the table and deal with it so we can move on. Once we do that, okay, understanding, one of the biggest things that will help us with this is if we understand who we are, also understanding what we do. Those are two different things. Those are two different things. But if I'm confident and I begin to understand who I am, which does also come with maturity. I didn't know that when I was younger. I had to learn that, you know, but I consciously made an effort to figure that out. Just be floating through life doing all kinds of stuff. Figure out who you are. Versus what you do and how to get to that point of purpose in your life. And so I think you hit on it some, Sheila, is that when we understand who we are and we're confident in who we are, I don't have to try to compete with you.
Come on. And there is no
I'm
comparison.
I'm good within my zone. And in my
zone. So you guys, as far as that goes with you, how do you feel about that? I know, like I said, it takes some time sometimes to come about who you are, what your purpose is, but getting with the right people can pull that out of you.
So I want to share this. One of the things that God taught me seriously is that not only did I have to get okay with who I am, I also had to be okay with who I'm not. And so I learned that from John the Baptist. If y'all remember, I ain't going Bible real quick, y'all.
You
But
sure
seriously,
let me take it to church? Okay.
I ain't going Bible, but seriously, there was a point when they asked John the Baptist, was he the Messiah? And his answer was no. He was comfortable saying that. He didn't feel like he had to prove or make like he was, that's who he was. And literally God said to me, be okay with who you are not, because who you are is enough. And so sometimes we don't think who we are is enough, and we're not okay with what we're not because we feel like that's more, that's better. Oh, that gets more attention, or that they cheer for that person more, they clap for that person. No. Clap for yourself.
But the battle with that is that as we're growing up, little girls, and trying to come into who we should be, there's so many hands shaping us and telling us who we should be, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable,
what's pretty,
what's the
not
best thing, what's good enough, what's not good enough. So that's why I said maturity and growing and developing brings you into who we really are.
And it still goes back to what we say, wounded people hurt people. And so we're growing up, and like you say, with these hands shaping us, we might have wounded grandmothers, wounded mothers, they're shaping us. So what do we become? A wounded vessel as well. Shaping somebody. Because we shaped by wounded people.
It's coming down from generation to generation. So it's being passed on.
And so we have to
somebody got to cut.
Exactly. And we have to be conscious at some point to say, I don't want to be there.
No.
How do I break that?
Recognize
you have to recognize. First, I need to recognize. If you take time to assess you know what hurts you and what caused you.
Yes.
And if you do that, then you know what not to do to somebody
else.
I may do something else, but I'm not going to do that.
Right, because that knife went right here.
Right,
so I don't want to do that to you.
I'm not going to do
that to you.
I'm not going to do that to you.
Because I know I hear people say, you just like your mother, you just like your aunt, or you just like your grandmother. No, I'm not. Because there's some things that I might not like about my mother, about my aunt, about my grandmother, about my sister. I am who I am.
Come on, sis.
So don't compare me with them. And so I hear also people say, well, I'm just like my mom. No, you're not. You don't have to be just like
because
her.
you know what? Similar is not the same.
Similar
is not the same.
Because we don't have the same fingerprint.
No.
We are so different. I can have identical twin sister. I don't, but you could. The person that does, but they don't have the same fingerprint.
No. They don't have the same. Sometimes they don't have the same thought process.
No, they can look
and you know what's they say, I love that you use that I'm used to just like your mom, you just like your auntie or whoever. Because you know what? My mama had her experiences. And I had mine. So what you see may look similar, but it is not the same because the experiences shaped me differently. It shaped me differently.
Definitely.
And so some people fall into that of being like that individual. And not to say nobody's mom or grandmother, aunt or cousin wasn't good people, but just say if they weren't. And then you allow yourself to fall into that, what they categorize you as.
And you know what they say? Well, they say that about me anyway. I might as well do. No, you do not have
you
to
don't
be.
have to be there. You can make a decision.
Come on.
You can make that decision not to be like that individual.
Stop the
cycle.
Just because your great grandmama got pregnant, your grandmama got pregnant, your mama got pregnant.
You don't have to.
You don't have to because it's
you don't have
your part.
Yes. And then you have to be able to stand your ground with the decisions you make. Like I choose, I'm breaking this, I'm not going to repeat that. I promise y'all, I don't know how many times I got judged because I didn't repeat that from my family. Now you think you better than the rest of them.
I live in that every day. Real talk.
You think you more than us because you didn't do this, or you got a husband and the marriage lasting,
or you live in a certain place, or you drive a certain thing. We don't necessarily think we better than anybody. We just made a different choice. We made a different choice.
And it was shaped differently.
And you know what? So Tim, I had another Gabrielle. I had another thought. Is that not only do we have to know who we are, you do know that we can decide who we want to be. You can make a decision that you know what, I have seen that, I have lived that, and that's not who I want to be. That's not what I want to do. And then after you make the decision, do it.
And that's what most of us did. Like, I know what I saw. I know what I wanted and I did not want. And my choices were made based on those things that I saw. And so now when they come back and say, oh, you raising your kids like they're white, because I teach them how to speak proper
English.
Yeah.
You know, or you think you're better than this. You think because you got us, or this one. I'm a single mom. You married and got a husband. You don't have the same issues. I don't know who you think you're talking to. Mm-hmm. We have to overcome things just like everybody else.
And you cannot use that.
That's no excuse. So again,
but there also becomes a barrier, and we put up walls with people. So, you think I don't understand? So you automatically think that I can't help you.
Yes.
You automatically think that there's nothing I can tell you
or say to you
that would help you, single or married. You don't really know.
And here's where we come in. We have to understand that we don't know everybody's story.
Exactly. You really don't know.
And you see what you see now of us four before you, but you don't know
the whole story.
You don't know the backstory.
And so with that, being said, that's why I say we have to learn how to, first of all, understanding who I am as a person. I want to be known as a dear friend, a loving mother, a loving grandma to my little baby. I don't necessarily care if I'm a prophet, a preacher, and teacher. I'm sorry. I just don't care because those are things that I do. And you will see me operate in those things. But I want to be known for my human side.
Yes.
I want you to understand that I understand you and we have the same battles as everybody else has. We have the same fears that other people have. I remember an aunt said to me, we was going over some stuff, I jump out there and start something in a minute. I'm just gonna try it, And I remember we were talking one day and I said to her, I was thinking about it, I'm gonna do it, but I'm just kind of nervous. Like I have the same fears as everybody else. And my aunt looks at me and says, you? I would have never thought that you had so you're seeing what you think is strong and qualities that maybe you admire because you haven't seen them in yourself, but understand they don't come without some difficulties. They don't come without fear. They don't come without insecurities. They don't come without worry. You know what I'm saying? We go through the same thing as everybody else, but all those things form and shape who we are today.
So Sheila, who do you want people to think who you are?
I am.
Gabrielle told us who she want people to think who know her as. Who do you want us to know?
First of all, and I'm a mother, and I am a people person. I love people. I love connecting with people and just sitting there. I'm a listener. I like to listen to who people are, and then we can sit down and talk about it. But I love people. I really do.
And Gabrielle is very charismatic. Of course I am.
So Patrice, while we rolling, who do you want people to know you as?
I really want people to know me as Latrice. So I am your I'm the saved one of the bunch. I'm saved. You hear me? But I'm the hood one as well. You hear me? No. I'm like Gabrielle. Know my human side. Yeah. Know that Latrice is not perfect, but I'm the person who loves people with everything I got. I'm the friend who, baby, if nobody else ain't got you, I got you. I'm the mommy and I am the GG. If you don't know nothing else about Latrice, I am GG extraordinaire. You hear me? I do GG real well. Yeah. Hey, Rory. So, and so I want people to know that I'm like you. I love people. I love to love on people, and I can't help it, y'all, but I'm a servant to my heart. I will serve you. Baby, you need me to get you something, that's who I am. And so I know it's not about I'm an apostle, I'm a prophet, I'm a preacher. It's not about that, but I do that. It's in me. You're gonna see it flow in me. You're gonna hear it, whether I'm in a pulpit or at a table. You know what I'm saying? Right, in Walmart. But I'm a person who loves people. If I can serve you, if I can love on you, if I can push you. Oh yeah, know that. If I can push you, that's where I am. That's where I am.
Now
I'm not charismatic like she is.
I know I'm very charismatic, and I love that about me. But the fact.
Well, I want you to know that I am a wife, first of all, but I'm also a divorcee. I am a mother. I am don't have the title of GG, Grammy, and none of that yet.
Yeah.
But we're praying on that. But I think I want you to know me as a mother who has lost a child. Mm-hmm. And I want you to know that human side of me, that I understand grief. I understand your pain. I love people. I love to serve. I love to cut up. Comedy is my thing. If you want anything from me, comedy, laughter, I can give it to you.
Yes.
So I love people, like Sheila said, like Tammy said. What I do is Gabrielle, as Gabrielle said, I can prophesy to you, I can preach to you, I can teach to you. But my main thing is I want to love you. I want to see the best that you have to get out of your life. I want to help pull it out of you. And I want to see you grow. Konnect Up is that's what we're here for. And so these group of ladies that I'm sitting with today, they know all of our hearts. And our hearts is pouring out to you today to let you know we're here and we love you. So my thing is, I just love you, hoping the best for you, and we just glad to be here amongst you.
Yes. And also, as we talk about that and the thing, who we are, not just about what we do.
Yes.
And I don't know if we can really verbalize all of what we do. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. We do a lot. If you put us all in here and out, we do a lot. We do a lot. And as you guys were saying, the biggest thing is supporting other people to become who they're supposed to be, finding their purpose. As we were saying, if you find your purpose, understand who you are, it cuts out on the competitiveness, the jealousy, the envy, all this stuff can be, and you can live free and happy. Not worried about nobody else's business, can't sleep because you're worried about someone what she doing. Baby. Get that stuff out on the table, expose your stuff, and get it dealt with. And and then we can move into that authentic support for one another. Is what Konnect Up is offering, not just to each other, but anybody that connects up to us. We are looking to be authentic with you. It's not about and support you and your goal, where you're trying to be. I used to say all the time, honey, I don't care if you're just trying to be a stay-at-home mom. If that's where you at right now,
be the best.
Be the best. Look, we got somebody that can support you in that role. Somebody been doing this for years. Our business now got, but baby, I stayed at home while my husband say, I got broad shoulders, baby, and I rolled them, okay? You were going to say something, Tracy.
I was about to say, when you were talking about flowing into the part about support, is that part of the reason why I don't think we can support one another is because we are looking for, I'm looking for LaFay to be me.
Yeah.
I don't need LaFay to be me.
No.
I need for LaFay to be her to me. Because if LaFay is me, then she gonna give me me, and that's not what I need for her. Yeah. So authentic support looks like you being who you are. To me, who I am.
And me bringing correctiveness when you wrong.
Thank you. And look who don't have no problem.
They don't want that conversation.
Look who don't have no problem calling everybody, baby. I think you need to look at what you did. But the beauty about that between us is we're not offended by it.
No.
Because I know you really looking out for me. And you don't come at me crazy like you said, but I had one of the ladies that work with us down in the business she said, you correct us, but you do it in love. It don't even feel like it. We know you mean it and we make the change, but it doesn't feel like you're condemning us. And there's a way to correct us.
Because you're not trying to condemn us.
It's not a beat down.
It's not a beat down, which is what we were used to. But there's a way. There's a way. And support, authentic support comes with correction.
And then building up.
And then building up. And if I know you really love me, you got me, and you come with that, I'm good because I know you really got my back. You don't mean me no harm.
That's right. And you ain't gonna let me walk out looking
crazy.
And if you walk out there looking crazy, it won't be on us.
And then I'm gonna tell you can get that together.
Yes. All the way.
Exactly.
If I got to come on, sweet baby. Because sometimes that's what we need. More than girl, you got this. Girl, you did that. Oh, girl, that was good. Sometimes you can say, sis, That
You
right
was
there,
in your
that
flesh.
right there was a little raggedy. That right there didn't come across right. Maybe you want to think about redoing that.
Yes.
Maybe you want to rethink that whole thing, but we don't want that conversation because that conversation says, now I got to change me. I can't just say that's just how I am. We don't want that conversation because then it's like, oh, who she thinks she is. But if you call her friend and you call her sis, then that's who she thinks she is. That's why she feels like she should come to you and tell you because that's my friend. That's my sis.
Exactly.
Yeah, we don't.
And when you're really trying to figure out who you are, stop this other cycle we was talking about, you're open to that.
Yes.
Now you can tell when if you're not an abusive friend just acting crazy, you need to find somebody else. But you can tell the difference between the ones that support you and they're there to love you through all of it.
Because some stuff you're gonna put on the table, and guess what? Is it gonna land on the table?
Right.
It's not gonna get settled. It's not, and you have to be okay with saying, you know what? Okay, I gotta walk away from that. That right there is what it is.
Right.
You don't have to waste time having a useless or wasteful conversation. Okay, you realize? Okay, let's move forward. But then you have to move forward with the right mindset and the right attitude, because if not, you're gonna take whatever you just laid on the table and you're gonna put it on the next sister. You're gonna
And
put it
we
on the
got
next person.
and we got to be able to grow, like you're saying, take that and grow into the next phase that God has for us.
That's right. That's right.
And when I'm thinking about your phase, that you're moving into places that you hadn't moved into before, which all of us are doing right now. And that can be uncomfortable because I'm like, what the freak am I doing? But I know this is what I'm supposed to be
Because
doing.
I was very uncomfortable the first day we met. To be honest.
Yes.
I was very
Yeah, we talked
uncomfortable
about it,
because I had to call Gabrielle and say, girl, I don't know if I'm supposed to be a part because y'all look like y'all got it all together. You got all these titles.
Yes.
Now, this is true. This
Yes,
is true.
yes,
I
it's
did.
a conversation.
And I'm like, I ain't got all them titles that y'all got, But then she was like, girl, you just be who God called you to be.
That's it.
And so, I was like, okay now. Okay. So I'm good.
And bring it to
And
the
who I
table.
am.
Bring that to the
I
table.
have.
And now, man, she can walk in the building and look at each other and be like, sis, you know what that means?
And bring it to the
But
table.
to be the one to
Yes.
say, you're feeling the one that's the less than.
But think about that too, shit, that we all have done it. I've been with the circle, but I felt like they had what I didn't have.
Yes.
And we have to bring that together and be, again, who you are.
Yeah.
And be comfortable
But
in
what
that.
it's gonna do is help me.
Come
It
to another
helps
place.
us to another
Yes.
place.
And see, that's the other
Help
thing.
me into a different place.
When you come to a table or a room where maybe you don't have what they have, guess what? That is a moment and an opportunity for you to
Yes.
come up.
Yes.
You said that's a moment.
Yes.
It's not a moment for you, and we do it. Like
We
like
all
Sarah said,
do it.
we feel, oh my God, I shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I'm not qualified. I'm not a whatever. But the real truth is, no, baby, you just got set up.
Yeah.
You just walked
You
into a
just
room
walked
where you
into it.
came in feeling like you had less. You can leave feeling like you had more. You know what I'm saying? You can take something. It can be a conversation, a word,
Anything.
a
Yes.
phrase that said that can elevate you to a place that you weren't in when you came in the room.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he has a funny way of working that out.
Yes,
Working
it
it out.
is, because
Yeah.
he
He has
will
a
set
funny,
you
he
up.
will set you up.
Sometimes, now Gabrielle
And
and Faye, y'all remember when I first came to Woman to Woman and became a part? I didn't really say nothing. I came in the room, I didn't talk, and I sat wherever Gabrielle told me to sit. That's all I did. And the people said, oh, she don't talk, and blah, 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 blah. No, I was just watching.
Right.
And I was just looking, and I was just seeing what was going on. And guess what? I had some moments of elevation.
Yes.
I had some moments of coming up to another level in a
Yes.
different space with a different group of people,
Yeah.
with women who had a different conversation.
And you know what's so amazing about that? That even if you're the one that everybody's looking at like, oh dang, this is different, you don't feel that way. You just kind of floating to do it. You don't feel like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not till later, years later, that you look at it, oh dang, that was what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Because you just feel a part of whatever it is you're.
And it's a difference, as we said earlier, than showing up and being a part of it.
It's
Being
just
a part of
being
it.
a part of it. So again, going back to being authentic, the authentic support that we're making sure we give one another. You know, and everybody know I'm crazy when I be out there sometimes dangling, hanging like, okay, let's get it.
And we crazy too, because we just been
Have to get with every now and then.
Let's just get it done. But I know that you ladies are awesome and amazing, group of women, first of all. And I just believe that the group that has been orchestrated for us is not just, that we're all gonna go to another place.
Absolutely.
That's the
And that
whole
we
point.
have not
The whole point.
experienced, I think it's gonna be awesome. And not only are we, I think those that connect up
Oh,
with us,
yes.
we're all
That's the
doing this,
best.
but it's all about honesty, it's all about being authentic, it's all about being, like the young folks say, for real.
For real.
And everything, and then that statement that all got you saying, babe, I'm here for all of it.
All of it.
So
I'm
tell me,
here for all of
Gabrielle,
it.
I want to pose this question to our audience.
Okay,
What does authentic support look like to you?
right.
Because what support looks like to you may look different to somebody else. And so when you start saying, I just want people to support me,
gotta be
you
ready.
should know what does that mean to you, because it is different from your sister. What LaFay needs from me, she may not need that from Gabrielle. What I need from Sheila, she may not need that from me. So what does authentic support look like to you?
to you.
Take that serious so that as you go forward, you don't have these moments where you're saying, nobody supports me.
Right. And
I
that's,
feel like I'm by myself.
and that's important because that was something we posed to each other. And it's not an easy question
It's
to
not
answer
it's
because
really not.
you really
No.
haven't sat and thought about what it really looks like to you, what it really means.
Yeah, what
to
do you really,
Right.
what is it really to me?
What do I
Because
really
of
want?
What do I really want? What do I really need?
Because
Yeah.
support is more than just showing up.
It's gotta be
Yes.
more than, like I said, you can show up, I can support you all day, baby. And really, I'm not even for you. I'm
Yes,
just up in there to see, be
What's
nosy.
going on?
We
What's
can show
going
up like
on.
we do at the church house.
And women are good. Oh, praise Jesus.
Look,
Praise
yeah.
the Lord. I love you, sister.
And we can show up, when I say that, I mean we show up and be distracted. We show up, but we're not tapped in, we're not focused, we're not really there.
Oh, we show up with the wrong intent.
Wrong
Let's just
intent.
call it what it is.
Well, yeah, you're right about that too.
We come,
motive
we
is
come up, we there for the wrong reason. Let's just call it what it really
Call
is.
a spade a spade.
And so it is what it is. And like Latrice just said, you know, the thing is figuring out what authentic support really means to you, what that looks like. If you already got your support system in place, wonderful. It took me years to figure it out. It took us years to figure it out. Hopefully you're already there. If you're not, start looking for that. You know, and don't make it happen. Let it happen.
Let it happen.
Because you can't
Yes.
make this happen. You can't.
It has to be
You
authentic.
have to let this come into place and figure out who those people are,
That's
Really are for you.
who they are for you, and that's what we're hoping for. And we're hoping with these conversations that we're having with you guys that you have that connect up with us and with others that are part of your immediate circle that you need to be with. Don't think you already know, or you can handpick and choose who you want that to be. It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. And so we want everybody to be aware of that. And so understand we're here. We love you guys.
Yes.
We love you.
And we are excited about this journey. And we're hoping and praying that you come along with us. Again. I am Gabriella, Gabrielle, G, all that stuff. That's me. And you
And
have,
I'm Sheila.
And I'm Latrice.
And I'm LaFay.
and we love you guys. I do want to say we want to always, at some point in our show, give a business plug. And so the one I'm doing today, now we have business at this table. You will hear all about it. You will hear about the products, you hear all that. But today, because it's Christmas, give everybody one of those little black bags. You guys can get a bag and give me that little thing out the middle. I'm gonna tell who it's from. So we have my little buddy here, and I just love this. I'm telling you, I'm not putting out anything I haven't used. And so that's Nina Sheree whip shea butter. I use this.
Yes.
This is my favorite.
I
I'm not just telling y'all that this is, I use it, my legs was a little rusty and everything. And so I started putting this on my legs. And I'm telling you, it worked.
Did it soften?
Yes, and they shine a little longer. They didn't turn rusty as fast and stuff like that. And so, but again, that's Nina Sheree. Nina, Nina, Sheree, Sharae. I'm sure that can be put on the video. You guys can look her up. She sells skin care and plus size swimwear. She recently had her products put into a store in New York. And so we're talking to somebody that's
And
hustling.
she is wonderful.
And she is amazing
Yes,
personality,
yes.
okay? So
She
you
has
guys,
a big personality.
a big
Yes.
personality. So if you guys get a chance, look her up, order from her, hook up. I promise you, you will love this stuff.
She have wonderful swimwear too.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
pretty.
Gorgeous
It's
lady.
pretty.
If you
Very pretty.
Yes,
beautiful,
plus
And if you
size,
want to
it's
get any of her
nice.
products, text 1-854-713-1142 and you can to save $10 off.
Yes.
Again, that's 1-854-713-1142 to save $10 off. And you can find her on Google Play and the App Store.
Yes, you can. She got
Yes.
that, baby. I love it. So we
got that
love
swimwear.
you. Miss Nina Sheree, we wish you the
Love you.
best.
Yes.
We
Thank
are praying for your business.
Don't do
Yes,
it,
girl.
Do your thing,
Keep doing
baby.
it.
Do your thing. And
Yes.
you guys, you have a wonderful holiday. It's a holiday. Merry Christmas. We love
Merry
you.
Christmas.
And until next time from the
Konnect Up!
Yes.